All right, today we're going to talk about how to identify clauses. So this is the identifying clauses practice, and we're going to go through the steps and learn how to do this. So the first thing is identify the prepositional phrases. So as the rain pounded the windows outside of my bedroom, we lost our ability to see during the storm. So we've got the prepositional phrases are, let's make that bigger. Got the prepositional phrases right here outside of our bedroom. We'll go ahead and draw a line through those just so that we don't get them mixed up with anything else. And then the next thing is identify infinitive phrases with our brackets. So we'll go ahead and do all of this again. All right, then we're going to underline our subjects. So rain and lost are the subjects. Underline the verbs, pounded and, I'm sorry, uh-oh, I did it wrong right here. We is the subject. Underline that. And lost is the verb. All right, look for the subject. Look before the subject for a subordinating conjunction or relative pronoun. So if you're identifying subordinate clauses, the subordinate clause will either have a relative pronoun, which is whom, who, whom, whose, which, and that. And sometimes those act as the subject, or it will have any of the subordinating conjunction. In this sentence, the word as is a subordinating conjunction. So that tells us that because this has a subordinating conjunction, a subject, and a verb, then we have a subordinate clause. So then you come down here and you put brackets around both of the clauses. And then you identify clause as either subordinate or independent. So let's go to number 6 here. As the rain pounded the windows outside of my bedroom, this has a subject, rain. It has a verb, pounded, and it has a subordinating conjunction. So this one is a subordinate clause. Then we look at the other one, and we lost our ability to see during the storm. We as a subject lost. This one does not have a subordinating conjunction or relative pronoun, so it's an independent clause. And I don't know if I've stated this specifically in the book, but you cannot have a sentence with just a subordinate clause. A subordinate clause always has to be connected to an independent clause. All right, so let's look at let's go ahead and look at this. Because the sun was shining. So first thing we want to do is find our prepositional phrase. We don't have any. Let me see what order. Subjects and verbs. Okay. So here we have sun is a subject, was shining is a verb. And then we want to look for a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun. So because is a subordinating conjunction. So are we supposed to, what are we supposed to do? Identify. So we're going to identify the clause. So number 1 is going to be a subordinate clause because the word because makes it subordinate. Number 2, when the phone rang, phone is the subject, rang is the verb, and when is a subordinating conjunction. So number 2 is a subordinate clause. Number 3, she is a subject, got is the verb, and after is a subordinating conjunction. So it is a subordinate clause. Number 4, ball is the subject, was is the verb, in the air is a prepositional phrase. I didn't do that first. And while is a subordinating conjunction. So this is a subordinate clause. Number 5, who made the team? Who is the subject? Made is the verb. And who is also, it is a relative pronoun. So therefore, the number 5 is a subordinate clause. Okay. She is a subject. Came is a verb. That is a relative pronoun. And number 6 is a subordinate clause. Number 7, that is the subject. Rang is the verb. And that is a subordinate clause because that is a relative pronoun. Number 8, they is a subject. Oops. Arrived is a verb. This one, we kind of have two since the day. The since is it is a subordinating conjunction, but this one also has an understood that. It's just that they arrived. So both reasons on this one make this a subordinate clause. And I say that because we could go ahead and add since the day that they arrived. Well, anyway, we'll just leave it at that. So number 9, class is a subject. Is our verb. Until is the subordinating conjunction. So number 9 is a subordinate clause. Number 10, name is the subject. Is a verb. Whose is a relative pronoun. And so number 10 is a subordinate clause. So all right, so on this one, check to see how many you have over 41 and figure up your score.